Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So today we're going to be doing an episode about the Federation and what type of government the Federation has. Now, there's been a lot of videos of people talking about the Federation being a communist society or a fascist society and all these types of things. But let's go into the actual lore of Star Trek. So let's begin by saying this. We know for a fact, that there is a president of the Federation. This president is an elected official. We also know that the Senate of the Federation is comprised of world leaders. So the leaders of the worlds, each individual Federation world, makes up the citizens, makes up the Senate of the Federation. Now, as one of the rules of the Federation, um, each world is governed basically by its own principles, but they do fall into certain Federation principles. But I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. Now, right there, we already know that there is a form of democracy. All right, it's not authoritarianism. The Federation doesn't have an emperor, they have a president, Madam President, Mr. President. Now, as such, that means that there's a certain level of representation from the people that go into the say-so of their elected official. So we already know it's a democracy. Let's set that aside. Now, let's think about D Space Nine's Cisco's father. All right, Cisco's father owns a restaurant. Now, there are many examples that I can give, and I'm gonna probably give a few more. But Cisco dad owns a restaurant. Does he get paid for this restaurant? All right. Now, we know that money isn't used in the Federation. It is used, though, on non-member worlds. Okay, a form of trade, a form of barter. All right. So let's talk about then why most people consider the Federation fascist or communist. All right. We know that member worlds are required to render assistance, whether that assistance be materials, products, goods, services, military, if need be, for the betterment of the Federation. All right. We've seen times where even this law or requirement to be part of the Federation was almost enforced. Think of the cloud minders. All right. Now, but the thing is this: what what are the means of control, I should say, that we have over us today? All right, let's think about our basic needs. All right, we have shelter, food, water, security, light. It's extended. All right, but what is the basic thing that we need to make use of those services, especially to a great extent? It's going to be money, all right, some form of barter or something, a currency, as we should say. Now, that form of government or that system of government is capitalism. We are all familiar with it. Now, the thing is this: what controls would be over a person if, for instance, food wasn't something you needed to go buy at a grocery store or needed to go hunt? It can be easily replicated. All right. What would be the use of money, right, when the Federation inhabits many worlds, many moons, all right, many asteroids that rent? What would be the point of having to pay rent? You just go, it's plenty of space available, all right? Now, what would be the need of transportation costs and everything like that? People needing to have to pay just to travel. It wouldn't be a need. We have transporters and teleporters. All right. So a lot of our basic needs in Star Trek in the future have already been met, to whereas there's no need for profit. All right. Now let's think about profit. So there's been many situations here on Earth where a lot of people will say, well, the evil corporation and the evil shareholders and all this type of stuff, right? But our system is designed to support that. So if a corporation has the opportunity to make profit or to go with a moral judgment, right? Which one do you think they will choose? Which have they historically chosen, right? The profit. Hell, I think it's even law that the shareholders need to make profit. All right. Now, think about that. We base our whole system of life on currency. It's so much so that even to they even in basic socialization between men and women, it's okay. Well, we need to have a high value man that makes X amount of dollars, X amount of this, X amount of that. Now, think about a society in which all of your basic needs are met, which means that the power over your direction, your growth, is severely limited by the government or by the state or by a system. All right, to where you're free to explore your hobbies or make things a path that are your dreams or aspirations. All right, now if you think about the members of Starfleet, or people in a federation who have what we would like to call professions. Tom Paris got into it not because of profit, but because he was skilled at doing this, and it was something that he loved. Jake's dad, Benjamin Sisko's father, he got into cooking and opening up a restaurant because that was something he was good at, and that was something that he loved. Now, if we have an abundance of something, right, then why not give it off? All right. So if you are skilled, you are good at farming, and that's your passion. So that's what you decide to do, but you have an abundance of crop. All right. Then why not just give it away? Why not just donate it? Give it to these people, things of that nature. All right. But for here, we actively try not to do that. And it's all based on money, which is based on a form of control or power. All right. So just because in the Federation they've entered into an agreement that says, hey, if any one of our member worlds needs assistance, whether that be materials, people, whatever, all right, you are required as a member of the Federation to assist, because that is the basic moral thing to do. And it has nothing to do with profit. Now, think about the Ferengi Society, for instance. All right, everything they do is motivated by profit. And look at their trajectory or their improvement in Star Trek, based in reference to, say, Starfleet. All right, Starfleet, through its goal of saying, hey, we have gotten beyond such things to whereas we share, just like in a regular house. What kind of household would it be if you have, you come in with some McDonald's or something like that for one person, and everything, and all the other people in the house is hungry, but because they didn't give you money on the food, you say nah and feel good and sitting there filling your belly and even throwing some food away, while there's people whose stomach you hear growling. All right, all of this is a form of control. It's a form of um, oppression. All right, so when you talk about Star Trek being a fascist or communist society, it's really not. And the people who call it that really don't understand what those particular definitions mean, all right? Because they are far from either of those two forms of government. Now, whenever you say to somebody, hey, try to imagine what your life would be without the need of money, right? The first thing they want to call you is a socialist and all this kind of stuff. No, no, no. Well, then how would we survive? Well, people were surviving for thousands of years, off regular trade and barter, until somebody decided with the weight imbalances and all this kind of stuff, and then profit, and then we need to make more based on, and then cost of living, and all of this is means of control. All right. And until the masses realize this, then we will never be on the path to a true paradise where we are able and free to explore our gifts and our dreams and goals based truly on the content of our characters, okay, and on our aspirations and what we would like to contribute to society as a whole. So anyway, I hope this video was quick, and I hope it was understandable and gave just a little bit of insight of what I thought was the inaccuracies of some of the videos that talked about the type of government that Star Trek has, and why for some reason people are so fearful of living in a paradise or somewhere, or in a system free of oppression, or in a system free of pointing a finger or othering somebody or trying to be better than somebody based on materials, or judging somebody's worth based on materials and what they can do for them. So we got a long way to go, but I do have optimism in humanity as always. But thanks for the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the video if you haven't. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. As like I said, and ring the bell for the future content. And as always, peace, recycle, and say the whales. You guys be cool.